we are here on A New View to Travel. Welcome to episode 18. And we are streaming live to Facebook, but we are also going to post this to our YouTube channel later on. Tammy, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody what the Facebook group is?
Our Facebook group is Facebook.com/group/A New View on Travel. So be sure to join us and like us and give us a thumbs up.
Perfect. Yeah, and we've got lots of conversation going on there, and just providing weekly updates, well, bi-weekly updates on everything that is happening. So I have a question for you while we wait for Sherry to reconnect with us. Yesterday, you were asking about, you've got a trip, where are you flying to again next spring?
Going to Tampa, Florida.
Tampa, Florida, and you are actually not in one of the tiny little planes that they usually use for sun destinations, but you're on the WestJet Dreamliner, is that correct?
It looks like, yeah, they just did a schedule change on us, and yeah, it looks like I'm on a Dreamliner. The
big plane. So what's the seating configuration on that?
That one is a 2x3x2.
And that's in the front?
That was in that is the premium section. The front of that plane is the business class with the lay down seats, apparently. I've never yet been on a plane like that, so that'll be a first for me. Yeah. And then premium was a 2x3x2 configuration. Mm-hmm. And you know what? I'm not sure what the configuration after premium is. If it must continue 2x3x2.
Yeah, or it might be 3x3x3. I'm not sure. I think I've been on a Dreamliner when it was in the hangar, but I don't think I haven't flown one yet. So I can't tell you exactly. But my question for you is, and this is a weird thing, like we should know this, when you're exiting or entering a plane, is it true that you would always, and looking at, wheel seat facing the front of the plane, so as we look to the front of the plane, would you enter the plane and exit the plane on the left-hand side? Would you always do that, or is there ever a chance that you might exit or enter on the right-hand side of the plane?
I have always been on the left-hand side, but for some reason, I questioned it yesterday. That's how long I've not been on a flight.
Let's say 2 years.
Because of being on being on this big Dreamliner, for some reason, I was like, is there the possibility of being on the right hand opening? Would the door open on the right hand instead and load from there? Because I want to be on that side of the plane.
Yeah.
So yeah, it kind of caught me off guard. But yeah, I've always been on the left hand side, and I'm sure that's where it always is. And I don't think there's ever an option that it would be both.
Well, so I reached out to one of my contacts who was actually a pilot for I think about 4 decades. And 3 or 4 decades anyways, and reached out to him to inquire about what the sorry, I'm doing 3 things at once, to find out what the actual answer was. And he said that in his history, he has seen it happen, I think twice, he said, but he's never actually experienced it as the pilot of the plane. But of course, if something goes mechanical, we know that they do have exits on both sides of the plane. And of course, in an emergency, they're going to open up any available door as appropriate.
Yes.
But typical for departing for the flight would be entering and exiting from the same side, which would be from the left side of the plane.
Cool.
So there you go.
Little bit of tidbit information that we
exactly
needed to update us on.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and jump into the in case you missed it stuff, since our wonderful Sherry would normally be covering this. So, and I just want to say right off the start, we're providing these updates and, new information on testing and all this kind of stuff, but this stuff is changing so fast. So please be aware that as much as we will provide you updates, that your main true source of information, of the most reliable and latest information, is the travel.gc.ca Canadian government website. Yeah. And if you're not sure about entry requirements for whatever country you're planning on traveling to, visit that country's, either the embassy, talk to somebody at the embassy, or visit that country's travel website, so that they can provide you the most up-to-date information. Crossing the border for a quick weekend just got a little bit easier. so what they've done is they announced that as of November 30th, changes will take place where we're no longer required to do a PCR, provide proof of a negative PCR test when returning to Canada for trips under 72 hours. You still have to do the ArriveCAN app, but you don't have to enter the testing. Actually, now I'm questioning that too.
No, you don't need
to do
the
the
app.
ArriveCAN.
No, for 72 hours and less. No.
Okay, I think we're going to have Sherry join us now. Okay, so yeah, so 72 hours is like pre-COVID.
Yes.
So no testing, no ArriveCAN app. You're back to normal. Hey, Sherry, thanks for joining us.
Sorry, guys, I had some technical difficulties there.
You're welcome.
Oh,
Hi.
Apparently Siri thinks I'm saying Siri,
better
not
say you're
Sherry. All right, Sherry, I was just going over that in case you missed it. So if you want to carry on, I just talked about the Canadian border changing, although I just will add that that is a benefit for Canadians, which is unfortunately not so good for our economy, because it means that we're going to be buying stuff in the US, gas, groceries, Christmas presents. But for anybody else who wants to come into Canada, it is still a requirement that they have to have a negative PCR test. So, but they have said this is phase 1. So fingers crossed, everybody. Parliament is back in session.
Yes.
We should see some changes being announced very soon, we hope.
Yes,
Hopefully.
I hope so too.
It's just another good positive step forward. So
Well, it is. It's unfortunate that, again, they didn't make it like open it up to everything at the same time instead of doing these little pieces here and there. But
Yeah.
gotta make it. They still gotta make it complicated. It couldn't be easy.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That is
okay.
I was going to actually say it's actually a pretty good thing for you guys, especially in BC, Christine, where you guys are having some issues and don't have a lot of services provided right now. So that's good for at least you guys over there that can pop down.
Sort of. So what happened was with the flooding that we had, the massive sections of highway have been knocked out, and they have restored some of the highways. But I mean, this is going to take months to restore the major routes that we have. And so obviously that did, without question, cause a run on groceries, gas, booze, you name it. I mean, like I'm telling you, there wasn't anybody leaving the liquor store without 3 boxes of wine. Boxes. Because everyone figured, who knows what the supply is gonna do, whatever. And even in the lower mainland, where you think, well, we've got access to the shipyards, right? So we've got cargo coming in, we've got access to California, so we've got fruit, vegetables, whatever, that's not an issue. Burnaby, the shelves were empty. Here in Surrey, shelves were empty. I mean, not completely, but for certain things. I mean, It was just bizarre. We're limited to 30 liters of gas per fill up. And they said that they would do a special agreement with the border so that we could go down to the US to get gas, of course, before the official change, which happens November 30th. But there's already been stories of people who went down to get gas, came back, and the border guard didn't get the memo. And basically they said $5,700 fine because you didn't get a PCR test to come into Canada. Yeah. So, so I'm not going to risk it.
Yeah, I guess there's still a little bit of, geez.
57, do they just find them right there on the spot?
I didn't read the article myself, so I will take that with a little bit of give and take. But
yeah. Holy.
Wowza.
Man.
That's crazy. Crazy.
Yes.
Craziness everywhere.
Yes.
Well, at least you guys are safe, though. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So vaccinations are now required for all Disney cruises, and announced that children ages 5 and up must be fully vaccinated against COVID-19 for cruises starting January 13th next year. This goes along with the COVID vaccinations being allowed now to have your children 5 to 11 vaccinated. So we'll see a lot of changes with that going through, I'm sure, as well as a lot of other places are going to do the same thing. Would make sense now that they've opened it up to that younger age group. New low-cost airlines are hitting the skies. We have Flair, Swoop, Jet Airlines, Lynx. Never heard of Lynx before.
Like the new one that popped up.
That was Enerjet, right?
I don't even know.
Yeah.
I don't even know. We
Yeah, there's
mustn't
a lot of hubbubaloo about it, but basically it was Enerjet that came in at the wrong time. And so I guess they've had some new investors come in and they're rebranding as Lynx, and they're going to have a go of it. But, it sounds promising.
Well, it might keep other prices down, i.e. Air Canada, WestJet, the rest of them. It'll do some damage to them, but.
And we need extra options out here in the prairies, like.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Competition's good.
Yeah, competition is good.
Yeah.
Remember way back when we thought Air Canada was going to rule the world?
Yeah.
That was what, a year ago? Or no, Air Canada.
Yeah.
That was like a year ago. Yeah. Anyway.
How things change.
Things are changing. Quebec is getting very vocal about them removing the PCR entry requirement for international visitors as their tourism numbers continue to dwindle. Now that Parliament is back in session, again, possibly we will see some more changes coming down. Starting January 22nd, 22, the US is going to require essential travelers to be fully vaccinated in order to cross the US land borders.
Yeah.
Canadians rallied against the federal government's decision to offer financial support to Air Canada. They recently announced that they only used a portion of the loan for customer refunds, and that the $3.975 billion of that loan is being canceled now.
Just a bit of change.
Just yeah, that's not much.
But you know what? Look, there have been times during the last 2 years where we really thought that we might not end up with any national carriers because the situation did look so dire.
Yeah.
So the fact that they had such an enormous loan and that they've basically been able to say, hey, thanks, but we don't need this right now, I think speaks volumes.
Right. Yeah. Nope, that is good. Nice to give it back.
Yeah.
And that's about it really for the news. Tammy, what's new in the destination world?
Destination, we both have Air Canada and WestJet have announced that they will reintroduce a 4-hour nonstop service from Toronto to the Grand Caymans. So Caymans is opening back up with connections across Canada. The Blue Diamond Resort brand has announced that it is reopening 8 resorts in Cuba on December 20th.
Good.
As of November 1st, Thailand is going to be welcoming fully vaccinated visitors from Canada and 62 other approved countries via the quarantine-free program, Test and Go. I'm not exactly sure what that is all about, but that's what they've announced. Hawaii is once again open for business with lifting of many pandemic restrictions on December 1st. New Zealand is reopening borders to vaccinated travelers in early of 2022.
Finally.
Yeah, that's a good
It's huge.
Promising.
That is huge. They've been locked down for a long time.
Yeah.
There was nothing getting in there. And so that'll be exciting to see. And then Air Canada Vacation has announced an increase in flights from Ontario and the Maritimes, nearly restoring 100% of their pre-pandemic routes. So there, I guess that's why they don't need their money.
Right.
Or they're getting their routes back up and running.
And I mean, the flights have been full, right? Like those of us who've flown and you guys have had clients who've flown, and like they're not saying like, oh yeah, I had the pick of any seat on the plane. The planes they're 80% full, if not completely full.
Right.
So,
yeah.
It's good.
It is good. All good things.
All good things. And then, that's really kind of all I have for my destination.
Except for Cuba, they have new entry requirements to enter and exit Cuba coming up soon. All travelers must provide information online within 72 hours before departing for Cuba. So just kind of like Mexico's health pass, you're going to have to go online, fill out the form, print it off, take it with you, and keep it until you leave. Whether they ask you for it or not, you better have it.
Yeah.
So that's supposed to be making things a lot easier and speeding things up in the process of entering Cuba. So that's good. I think once the information's provided to them, you get a QR code emailed to you, and you can either print it or scan it off. And that's what you take to show to the authorities upon arrival.
Right.
Cool. Easy peasy.
Yeah. So what the ultra low cost carriers look like. So again, we just talked about Swoop and Lynx and Jet Airlines Flair. They're offering extraordinarily low prices. However, they're adding all these options if you want them before you go. Got to pay for your bags, of course, which most are anymore anyway.
Yeah.
You got to pay for your seats. You got to pay for this. You got to pay for that.
But you have to pay for your carry-on as well.
You do have to pay for your
Yeah.
carry-on as well. And
Yeah.
sometimes the carry-on is more expensive than the actual checked bag.
Yeah.
So if you were just going to Vegas for 3 days or something and you just don't want to take that big bag, but it's cheaper to check it than it is
Yeah.
to carry it on board with you. So
Yeah, but you know what I mean, like, and anybody here in BC, you know, those of us who are sort of in the lower mainland or even as far north as I would say Kelowna or Prince George, Kamloops, is aware that, you know, flying to Vegas on a Legion Air from Bellingham is a
Right.
no-brainer. I mean,
Yeah.
you're getting ridiculously cheap flights.
Yeah.
And it's actually the same with, was it Swoop? I was pricing out. Swoop is a subsidiary of WestJet. So, I mean, you're going to see low prices, but you're never going to see anything too extraordinary because they're not going to drive WestJet out of business.
right.
But nonetheless,
Yeah.
you know, I was pricing up, they had Black Friday sale on, and I was seeing prices from here to Winnipeg or from Vancouver, sorry, I should say Abbotsford. They use the smaller airports, which tend to have less fees, airport improvement fees and stuff like that are
Yeah.
significantly reduced.
Yeah.
So it decreases the cost overall. Round trip, Vancouver to Winnipeg, Abbotsford to Winnipeg, or Abbotsford to Toronto. Canadian, including all taxes, take a guess. What's your guess?
$100.
270.
110.
Ooh.
$110, you guys, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Now,
It is
if you want to do seat selection, that was starting at I think $21, and then the bags were, I think, around 30 to 40.
Right.
So, you know, but if you can get away with just a carry-on or just a checked bag, you don't mind where you sit.
100.
I mean, you're talking, that's a quarter, maybe a fifth of the price of
Right.
what you would
Yeah.
normally
Oh,
spend.
God,
Yeah. I
So-
remember 2 years ago, the last time I was in Mexico, I flew from London, Ontario to direct nonstop to Cancun with Swoop. And my round trip ticket was just like $332.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
That's
ridiculous.
crazy.
And you know what? I didn't think they were different than any other airline I've flown on. So
Mhm.
they might be a low budget cost carrier, but the service was good. They were late by an hour, but most of them are. So
Yeah, and I
You
mean
can't
that's
fault
the only
that.
thing. That's the only thing that I have seen a lot of is that with the lower cost carriers, they do tend, because they're running on a much more skeleton scale or
Mhm.
system, that they don't have a lot of margin for error. And if a
Right.
flight doesn't go out because of weather or what have you, then you might be delayed until the next day.
Yeah.
Or the day after.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah,
Be
just
prepared for schedule changes. I see them coming
Yes.
through left, right, and center. Like, it's unfortunate, but I mean, I swear everything I booked in September has all been changed a couple times. So
Yeah.
Crazy.
have that. It's nothing is concrete when it comes to the airlines. They can do whatever they want whenever they want to.
Well, this will be my third trip coming up, and all 3 trips have had sched changes.
Right.
So
Yeah. It's
it
nuts.
is what it is. You just have
It
to
is.
accept
Yeah.
it.
You have to be have to expect it. It's
Yeah.
disappointing and frustrating. And if you don't have much time, or, you know, say it did get canceled and the date was changed the next day or the day before, and that doesn't work with your work schedule, you got to know that when you're booking.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to have some flexibility in there somewhere, because it's just too many
Yeah.
changes.
Yeah, I
Indeed.
just had one too for my trip for February.
Right.
And now it's a forced overnight in Toronto instead of not a direct through, but at least a same day travel. So,
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
oh well, you gotta
I
just,
know.
that's the price of traveling right now. I keep
It
saying
is.
the price
It
of
is.
traveling.
Well, it's always been like that. They've always had schedule changes throughout the years. That's nothing new, but the amount of them now are
Yeah, it's just
fluid.
constant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
90.
Mhm.
But something funny we were talking about at the beginning of the show was we're so busy now. Are you guys busy? Like, I know I'm busy. Like, to the top, over the
Not
brim,
bad.
busy.
Yeah, you're crazy
am.
busy.
It's nuts. Like, I've got it's just all over the map. And we were laughing that we're so busy now that we're no longer sitting here trying to plan our Netflix. What am I going to watch on Netflix today?
Yeah, or this week, or maybe next week, because I got time. I got nothing else to do.
I used to be able to
doing
binge right through them, and now I'm like, oh darn it, I missed that one. I'm gonna
I
have to
know.
go.
Are you guys
Yeah.
still baking your own bread, or have you gone back to store-bought?
Oh, I never did break my own bread.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No.
I thought that was something that everybody did.
Oh no.
No,
I learned how to bake bread during COVID. So, a
Oh,
couple
did
of good
you?
things have come of
Oh.
it. Yeah. But I did
Good.
notice that in Superstore, I used to enjoy that they had the person sitting there and they'd be cleaning the baskets and stuff like that. But now they're back to the manky ones with bits of food. And why is there always cilantro in a basket? Is there that much cilantro in the world? Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which basket you pick up. There's always some cilantro in there.
Yeah.
You must just throw it in and not put the bag around it, and then leave a sprig behind.
I guess.
Yeah.
Well, it smells nice.
It does.
People making good ceviche out there.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, did we talk
Awesome.
about the new WestJet testing? I don't think we
Which
had
one?
that on the.
Oh,
on
we
the
did not.
thing.
No, we did not.
Yeah, so
Yes.
WestJet I saw that they announced that this morning was the first I've heard about.
First I saw of it too. Yeah.
Okay, so this kind of came out of the left wing, like with the Air Canada announcement, where they've joined forces with Azova, which is a North American company, and they're providing pre-flight test kits, but also test kits that you can take with you and do it yourself testing in destination. And Tammy and I were looking into that for our next trips. I got told it was going to take about 5 to 7 business days to take delivery of the kit, and that it was going to be delivered by UPS. Tammy, you were told it comes by air?
Well,
and
just from the research that I did on web, that it is a 2-day air shipping cost, and there's no shipping cost, and it's a 2-day air shipping.
So it's included in the kit cost.
Yeah, and they said if you order it during the weekend, you should get it by Tuesday, Wednesday the following week. If you order it between certain time frames on the weekend or during the week, they show you when you're supposed to get it.
Oh, okay. Well, like I said, it only came out this morning, so I didn't have a chance to fully investigate. I did call them, and it was going to be 115 American was the cost of the test kit and the cost of the video conference. Now, if you just want to get a test kit because you want to test for your own, you're going to go visit family and you just want to know that you're not positive, but you don't need the fully official forms, you can get that, and I think that was just $85. But if you want it with the video conference, and what they do is they basically walk you through the testing, and then you have the test kit there. It doesn't have to be sent away to a lab or anything. Within 11 minutes, they know if you have a negative result. So they stay on the phone with you for that long. If it takes longer than that, they drop off the call, and then they'll call you back within 30 minutes. And by then it should tell you if you are one of the extremely rare cases that happens to be positive.
Right.
And then they will send you an email with a QR code. So you can either keep that on your phone or you can print it out, and that's what you would show when you go to the airport. So if you're going to look, it doesn't matter where you're going, as long as you've got Wi-Fi access or internet access, and you can do a video chat.
Yeah.
This is brilliant.
Yeah.
You know?
It'll definitely give you a peace of mind of being able to get that test done within 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And not start freaking out that you're on your transfer bus on the way to the airport to get on your plane, and you still have not received your results from the resort or destination. So I think I'm going to look into it this weekend and purchase it and try it when I go. And I'll give you the heads up on it once I
let us know how it goes.
Maybe
No, for $100, why not, right?
Well, that's
give it a go.
Yeah. So that's another good helpful hint there with WestJet to help. Well, and I don't even think that WestJet's announcing that they're working with this company to do it, but you, as booking on any other airline or your own travel, you can book it yourself
Right.
on these with this company Azova.
Yeah, it's a weird name. All these pharmaceutical companies, they don't ever pick anything that's like easy.
Never heard of them before. So, but just another good another thing that popped up in the world of travel today.
Yeah. Oh, there's lots of those. Yay.
Which is actually pretty good, because when I tried to purchase those tests with the ones that Air Canada had, if you didn't have Aeroplan, points that you could purchase it for a discount rate,
Right.
then you could purchase them, but they've been sold out to the public for ever since they started.
Yeah.
And in all honesty, I couldn't even if they were available, they do not deliver to Saskatchewan.
Right. You were
Outside
saying
of
that.
being an Aeroplan member. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is definitely going to help everybody else that, just. Air
Yeah,
Canada
and I
wants.
did specifically ask that because I figured you would want to know. And they said basically, as long as you're somewhere that UPS can deliver to, then you can get it.
Good.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Good to know.
Now, it'd be even better if they just dropped it all together.
Oh, true.
Well, yeah, I mean, that would be the ideal
I
situation.
can't wait to have that conversation on the show.
It's just going to be a celebration.
It certainly will be.
Absolutely.
All right. So Tammy, what national fun facts do you got for us this week?
Okay, well, I guess happy Thanksgiving to all our American friends there that
Oh,
is
yes.
celebrating Thanksgiving and
Yes.
Black Friday if you're out there doing all your online shopping. And there's some good Black Friday travel sales happening on right now. So contact your
is.
travel agent
Yes.
for the latest Black Friday deals. Also, just a little promo there.
Shout out to the travel agents.
Yeah. So we have November 27th, National Craft Jerky Day.
Oh, I have some right here. I have
What?
some
Biltong?
biltong. Yes, it's a South African beef jerky. And actually, my husband actually ordered a container to make your own beef jerky. We've made it in the oven before, but it works slightly better with this other contraption. I'll take a picture for you guys to see it. You guys remember the Easy Bake Oven?
Yeah.
We used to cook with a light bulb.
Mhm.
That's basically what this does.
Right.
It's kind of like a dehumidifier, but
Yeah.
and it's just basically steak bites with seasoning, and he usually makes it quite spicy. I haven't tried this yet, so we'll see.
I have a Pampered Chef air fryer, and I've made jerky now in it, and it's fun. I like it. I'm trying to master my dad's recipe, which was a secret, so I'm still trying to figure out the spices and try to make it taste somewhat like his, but it's fun. I like making it. I actually think I still have some up in the freezer, but so
nice.
So it's Jerky Day. And we have on the 29th, National Chocolate Day. You have some of that too, Christine?
I do, but not in front of me. I can't have everything,
December 1st to the 31st is going to be eggnog month, so you can get your rum and eggnog going.
Do you like the eggnog?
December 3rd, Bartender Appreciation Day. So if you're out there, make sure you appreciate your bartender. Give them some good tips. They deserve it.
And say please and thank you. Right?
Yes.
Please and thank you. I was actually out last night and somebody was like, the person walks up and says, "Oh, hi, my name's Sarah. I'll be your server for the evening. How are you doing today?" Oh, yeah, I'll get a beer. Like, come on. How are you? I'm fine, thank you. How are you? May I please have a beer? Thank you.
Common courtesy, hey? Is
just
exactly. And December 6th, Walt Disney Day. And they're still in the process of celebrating their
Yes, they are.
50th. And then December 10th is National Lager Day. So that is all I have for fun facts and national news.
Well, there you go. Our next episode will be the 19th one, getting soon to the 20th. We've been doing this 20 episodes now. That's pretty cool. Our next show will be on December 3rd. Is that what we discussed?
Yeah, because we're going to be, Tammy and I are going to be in Mexico. I know you blocked this in your mind.
Yes, I have on purpose.
I don't want to think about it.
I don't.
No,
yeah. You're right. I forgot about that.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what we have coming up on December 3rd and how well the news is going, and we'll shoot for December 3rd.
Yeah, well, I did hear that they were going to be tabling some discussions on changes to the PCR testing. So fingers crossed, you guys. Maybe we'll
I know
have
they were at a big
more
summit,
news.
IACTA and IATA, and they were all together. Was it Thursday? I think.
Yeah.
So I actually hoped they would have something out today, but I haven't seen anything really yet. So
Well, it's not closing time yet.
no, yeah,
They like
true.
to drop these things right at the end of the
End
day.
of the day. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
right.
It's like the
And then-
person that sends you that email like, hey, by the way, there's a flight change and your flights are scheduled. They're canceled now. And it's Friday. And oh, by the way, I'm off at 5 and it's 4:59.
Right.
Send.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's the way it's
That's the
been.
gist of it. Yeah, pretty much. So I think that's all we have for today. If you like the show, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, A New View on Travel, and our Facebook page, Tammy, is
New Facebook/group/A New View on Travel.
awesome. Well, I guess we will see you on December 3rd before these two go back to Mexico
Hey.
again.
Again.
Finally,
Oh, one of these days, I'm telling you.
I know. Well,
One of
we
these
got to
days.
start planning that.
It'll
one.
happen.
Yes,
It'll
we do.
happen soon.
Yes, yes.
Good job,
awesome.
ladies.
Yeah,
All
have a
right.
good weekend, and
a good
we'll
weekend.
chat you later.
Happy
care.
long weekend. Happy Cyber Monday. Happy Black Friday. And
All
happy
that stuff.
Thanksgiving. And we'll see
Yeah.
you next time.
You
Bye.
Good one.
betcha.
Bye.
Yeah.